11Alive Plus. Within the last 30 minutes, Atlanta police telling us that one of their officers shot a man armed with a knife in Buckhead. Our Cody Alcorn joining us live now from Lenox Road with the very latest that you've learned here. Cody, what's going on?
Well, Jennifer, I'll tell you right now, Lenox Road is completely shut down here in Buckhead after that shooting, which happened around 3:30. And just in the last 30 minutes, we heard from a major with Atlanta police who confirmed this started as a domestic around 2 o'clock this afternoon. Apparently, a woman had just met a man. He came over to her apartment. Things escalated. He apparently destroyed some things in her apartment, including the door. She called 911. This suspect left armed with a knife. At some point, a maintenance worker confronted him right down the street here on Lenox Road. You can see it blocked off. And then that is when Atlanta police officers responded out here. They had a description of this individual. At some point, 4 APD officers confronted this man on Lenox Road. They say he was still armed with that knife. This is some chopper video of the area where that shooting happened. Now, during that engagement there with those APD officers, the major said that those officers told the suspect to put the knife down multiple times. He did not. APD said that's when this suspect lunged and one officer opened fire. Now, witnesses told us they heard 2 gunshots ring out. APD confirms that suspect was shot twice, was rushed to Grady, and at last check was critical but stable. So we just want people to reiterate this, that Lenox Road is closed. It will be closed for a couple more hours. So again, a lot of people live around here. It is a major thoroughfare here in Buckhead. So keep that in mind as the GBI continues to investigate this shooting. This is the 3rd officer-involved shooting here in Atlanta since January. We had one in January, one earlier on February 7th, and of course this one unfolding here today. Of course, we'll have much more on this tonight at 11 after the State of the Union.
All right, Cody, thanks so much for keeping us updated there. Tonight, we're taking a live look at the U.S. Capitol as we are just hours away from, as Cody mentioned, the State of the Union address from President Donald Trump. He's expected to speak about the economy and sell new affordability efforts. Tonight's theme is strong, prosperous, and respected. That's according to a senior White House official. NBC's Alice Barr has more now from Washington.
Heading into the first official State of the Union of his second term, President Trump promising a lengthy speech.
We have so much to talk about.
As he looks to shift public perception on some of his signature issues, with the latest polling finding nearly 60% of Americans surveyed disapprove of the president's job performance, while showing him losing ground on inflation, tariffs, and even immigration.
Restored our border, and that's now totally secure, and our country is at the safest level it's been in many, many years.
President Trump set to come face-to-face tonight with Supreme Court justices he's been slamming after they overturned most of his global tariffs, with FedEx now becoming the first major corporation to sue for a refund of all tariffs it paid the government under the Emergency Powers Act the justices shot down. Many small business owners wondering if they'll ever see money back.
It would have a positive effect on retail side if that follows through.
As the White House pushes ahead with other tariff options pointing to billions of dollars in revenue, Democrats arguing the president's policies are forcing prices up for everyday Americans.
He promised that he would lower costs on day 1, and yet we will be on day 400, and the cost of groceries is up. The cost of utilities is up.
Dozens of Democrats plan to boycott the speech, Republicans blasting that move, predicting an upbeat message.
The president's on a roll when it comes to restoring America's role in the world.
Foreign policy, another key focus tonight amid soaring tensions with Iran, as President Trump defends his approach at home and abroad. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Georgia Congresswoman Nikema Williams is one of dozens of Democrats who plan to skip the president's address. We just heard from her a couple of hours ago.
In just a few hours, we're going to have the President of the United States walk into the chamber, and he's going to tell you that the state of our union is strong. He's going to tell you this when part of our government is actually in a shutdown. Imagine that, the president saying that the state of our union is strong when he is not willing to negotiate to keep a part of our government open.
You can stream President Trump's State of the Union address and reaction from Democrats right here on 11Alive Plus. It starts at 9 p.m. All right, we're going to get you back to our chief meteorologist, Chris Holcomb. Chris, you told us after all the nice, lovely weather I'm still thinking about from last week that a cool down was on the way. It's right here. So how long is this lasting? What's ahead for us?
We're already feeling those temperatures warming back up. That's after we started off this morning in the mid-20s. We got up to the mid-50s this afternoon, which is warmer than it was yesterday. Yesterday's high was only 40. Today, it was 54. Tomorrow, it's going to get even warmer. Take a look at when we're going to hit the 60s. Generally between 2 and 5 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow, that's when we go back into the 60s. We think our high will move up to around 62 degrees. So still needing a jacket, but most likely a lighter jacket than the thicker coats that we've had for the past few days. Now, we do have a few clouds around right now with this warm air. These clouds, though, not producing any type of rain. In fact, the sun just went down a few moments ago here. We were able to see that sunshine filter through some of these clouds. They're thickening up or trying to cover us up a little bit more here in Atlanta, and I do think that during the evening hours we will see a few more clouds feeding in. Tomorrow will be a day with less sunshine and more clouds, but still with the southerly flow, we'll be making it up into the 60s once again, even warming up just a little bit more. You can see a look, this is what I'm talking about with those clouds thin enough to allow some of that sunlight to come through. It did set at 6:30 tonight, but we still see some of that light there on the horizon. For the next 12 hours, clouds will be with us for much of the evening hours, and that will help to hold in some of the warmth of the day, so it's not going to be as cold in the morning. We'll get down to around 39 degrees with a few more of those clouds around. Stay with us. Clouds will eventually bring us some rain. We'll have an updated timeline on that coming up.
Chris, thank you. Now to Barrow County, where Colin Gray's defense team was left stunned today as his daughter took the stand against him in the Apalachee school shooting trial. Gray is accused of providing his son Colt access to the gun used in the shooting. Prosecutors arguing the father bears some responsibility for ignoring red flags in the days ahead of the shooting. Marissa Sarbach was in court as the daughter took the defense by surprise.
Jenny Gray, who was just 13 at the time of the shooting, testified that her brother Colt had been having panic attacks in the months leading up to that shooting. She also testified that she knew about the shrine of Nicholas Cruz, the Parkland shooter, on his bedroom wall, and that Colin and Marcy Gray also both knew about it. Jenny Gray's testimony today absolutely shocking the defense, specifically when she testified that the interview she gave to law enforcement the day after the shooting, where she said she didn't know anything, was a lie. And she said that because her dad, Colin Gray, asked her to cover for him. We also heard Colin Gray's interview with law enforcement the day after the shooting.
Everybody's watching the news, and I said, help, it's not him. I said, all the guns are accounted for. They're in my closet. And I said, except for the one Colt put that laser in. I said, I'll call you in a minute. So as soon as I got here, I opened that door, Fox News, I left the TV on, and sure enough, there's Apalachee High, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I go down to his bedroom, and I just stuck my head inside there, and there's his two guitars, and it's laying over there in the corner, and it's not there.
Our final witness today was Jason Smith, an investigator with the Barrow County Sheriff's Office who actually interviewed Colt Gray following the shooting. Now, he is expected to take the stand again tomorrow morning, and the jury is also expected to see and hear in full that interview. Reporting outside Barrow County Court, Marissa Sarbach, 11Alive News.
And as the alleged gunman's father stands trial, state lawmakers are looking at how to better protect students in the years following the Apalachee deadly school shooting. Today, the House passed a bill to put weapons detectors in public schools. 11Alive's Doug Richards breaks it down.
The bill would provide state money for public schools to put up weapons detection systems, similar to that already installed at DeKalb's Lakeside High School. Republican leader Chuck Efstration says it will give parents peace of mind.
When they drop their child off at school in the morning, they're going to be able to pick them up safely at the end of the day.
But the bill had some vocal critics.
We've allowed guns and weapons of war to become more available than a pack of gum in this state and then act confused when people keep dying.
Democrat Bryce Berry voted against the bill.
It makes me emotional as a mother, as a parent, to have to worry about my kids' safety every single freaking day.
But the measure passed with support from many Democrats, including Michelle Au.
Bills like HB 1023 only address school shootings. While a form of gun violence that tends to get the most attention, is also the most rare.
Al also urged Republicans to consider passing her bill that she dropped last year, which would require safe storage of guns in homes with children. It has never gotten a committee hearing or a vote. At the Capitol, Doug Richards, 11Alive News.
Ahead tonight on 11Alive Plus, a father's life changed in an instant. The accident that left him paralyzed and what may have saved his life. Welcome back. We are following two big meetings happening tonight. In Cobb County, commissioners could vote to pause construction on new data centers. They're meeting at 7 p.m. and one of the items on the agenda is a moratorium on data center permits in unincorporated parts of the county. Right now, communities and counties all over Metro Atlanta are looking at the impact of data centers on their local communities. Commissioners in Hall County are considering a similar 180-day pause, and in DeKalb County, commissioners have already extended a moratorium on data center projects through June. Another big meeting happening tonight in South Fulton. City Council there is set to meet around 7 o'clock as well. They're expected to talk about gas stations and convenience stores and where they can be built. Possible changes to zoning sparked pushback earlier this month. Residents showed up to the February 10th City Council meeting with signs that read "No to Gas Station Ordinance." They say they are worried about too many gas stations being built. The 5 City Council members who co-sponsored the ordinance say that there needs to be more zoning options. We'll, of course, let you know about all of those decisions. Tonight, a community is rallying around a Gwinnett County man after he was left paralyzed in what's being called a freak accident. 11Alive's Chase Howell sat down with the man's mother and father, who say his helmet probably saved his life.
The man working with Evan Parker at the time says it was this limb that fell from the tree and crashed into Evan's head. Now the family tells me the impact was so strong, it broke Evan's neck.
They're gonna look a lot different, but those are good memories.
Pictures of Keisha Guzman's son, Evan Parker, fill frames inside her home. Something she hangs on to as Evan fights to recover after this 25-pound tree limb fell and hit him from about 60 feet in the air.
Even through all of this, when he is awake, he's trying to keep us calm. He's trying to keep us happy and laughing, and that's Evan.
According to Evan's family, doctors say he's paralyzed from the neck down.
I'm scared. I'm scared for him. I'm scared for his mom. I'm scared for the whole family.
Laren Parker is Evan's dad. Both he and Evan's mom say he wasn't just an average 21-year-old, but a father to his 1-year-old son, June.
That is the love of Evan's life. That is his purpose.
Evan's family says he loved being an arborist, but now the word climbing has a whole new meaning.
He took the ventilator out. That's the first thing he said. He said, "I'm ready to go work again. I'm ready to climb." I said, "Boy, you're crazy." But hey, if he wants to climb, let him climb. But we're going to climb to recovery.
In Gwinnett County, Chase Howell, 11Alive News.
And there is an online fundraiser to help Evan with this medical cost. If you're interested in helping, we have a link inside this story on 11alive.com and inside our 11Alive app.
The cold air is moving away, and that's going to be replaced by milder air. Eventually, we're going to see our temperatures not only just getting into the 60s, but we have some 70s showing up in our 7-day outlook. Not a bad day out there today. Even though it was really cold this morning in the 20s, we made it up into the mid-50s this afternoon. We had a lot of sunshine early, but then in the afternoon and now going into the evening hours, we're seeing a few more of those clouds building in. But the warming up process is going to continue over the next few days, where we're going to be in the 60s here for tomorrow and then getting even warmer going into the weekend. But we're still going to have a little chill in the air tomorrow, down to about 39 degrees to start. Yes, that's chilly, but not as cold this morning when we were in the mid-20s. We'll see the temperatures warming in the afternoon, and then we're watching on Thursday the rain returning in our area. Here's a look at some of those clouds that are out there right now. They have been relatively thin. The sun was still able to shine through them as it was setting around 6:30. Still some light there on the horizon from this vantage point at our Athens Tower Cam. Also, this is our view from Truist Park looking westward. Doesn't that look beautiful? Just some of the reds and pinks and kind of purple colors that we're seeing in those clouds right now looking over toward the west. Temperature right now is at 51. We've come down a little bit from that high of 54. Most places in the metro area are in those generally lower 50s. We do have some 40s though in Carrollton, LaGrange, Eatonton in the 40s. How about Canton and Gainesville in the 40s? 40s up in far North Georgia as well. Thanks to those few clouds that we have out there, that's going to help to keep us a little bit milder, but we're still going to make it down to 39 degrees in the morning. More clouds build in during the day tomorrow, but we'll make it up to around 62 degrees. Even with the absence of a lot of sunshine out there, it's the southwesterly flow that's going to transport that warmer air our way. You can see tonight just a few of those clouds around. In the morning, a little bit of sunshine mixing in with those clouds, but then during the day, the clouds are going to increase, blocking out the sunshine a little bit more. I'm not overly concerned about rain chances tomorrow. I know you see a couple of blips of green on here, but really that's a less than 20% chance. The main rain chance comes in on Thursday, where we're going to see some showers developing in North Georgia in the morning. And then the models have been updating the timing of this with new data coming in. And this is showing a good coverage of rain still around at lunchtime into the afternoon. A couple of pockets of moderate to heavy rain at times, even a little bit of thunder and lightning possible. The main part of the system is still late Thursday, overnight into early on Friday. We're thinking by 7 o'clock in the morning, a lot of this rain will be pushing to the south, and then conditions will improve later in the day here on Friday with a lot of those clouds that'll still be slow to break up. The models have also been going back and forth on how much rain we're going to be getting. Earlier, both models were showing over an inch of rain, but right now the American model is showing about a ½ inch with higher amounts on the south side, but the European model is still showing over an inch of rain here. I would love for us to get around an inch or so. We really need some of that rain coming in, but that timing is mainly on Thursday, ending on Friday. Look how we see those temperatures going up to 68 by Friday, 69 Saturday. How about 70s for Sunday and Monday? Then back to 68 Tuesday with a low rain chance at only 20% to start next week.
Well, get ready. Atlanta Shaky Knees is turning up the volume this September. 21 Pilots, The Strokes, and Gorillas are headlining the 3-day party out at Piedmont Park. The lineup includes more than 50 acts across 4 stages. The festival runs September 18th through the 20th. Ticket pre-sale starts this Thursday at 9 a.m. Well, the Real Housewives of Atlanta returning for season 17 with some new faces that may be familiar. Restaurateur and Slutty Vegan founder Pinky Cole is now part of the cast, and so is R&B singer K. Michelle. Real Housewives of Atlanta returns to Bravo this April. Ahead tonight here on 11Alive Plus, a Georgia mother gets another chance at life thanks to a groundbreaking procedure. We'll explain. A groundbreaking surgery performed for the first time here in Georgia is giving a local mother a second chance at life. Doctors say the innovative transplant could change what's possible for patients once they're told there are no options left. Caitlin Ross has this remarkable story.
Are camels with one hump called
Humpty?
It feels good to laugh again.
Does giga mean 1 million?
For Monica McFarlane, it feels good to be herself again.
I know I'm shaking.
Yeah, that's side effects, right?
It is.
Even the hard days are a gift.
These are all the different medications I have to take throughout the day.
After 15 years of heart failure, 9 medications a day is a reminder that she's still here.
I'm so thankful that I'm here to take these medicines. You know, I'm not going to complain about any of it.
Monica was just 37 when she was diagnosed with heart failure. For 15 years, doctors tried everything until they told her there was nothing left to try.
I had 2 days to 2 weeks to live and say my goodbyes.
She was not eligible for a traditional heart transplant. Antibodies in her blood meant her body would reject it. She and her family were preparing for the worst.
The doctor walked in as we were getting ready to leave, and she said, "Have you ever heard of the HALT procedure?"
HALT stands for Heart After Liver Transplant. It's an innovative strategy where surgeons transplant a liver first, followed by a heart from the same donor, using the liver to help shield the heart from rejection.
We knew that that heart would be rejected if we didn't follow this strategy. It was a big undertaking. The operation was extraordinary.
Dr. Victor Pretorius says the transplanted liver acts like a sponge, absorbing harmful antibodies and protecting the new heart.
It's a new strategy for us here at Emory in Georgia. That was the first time it was done.
16 hours in surgery, 3 months in recovery.
I've had 2 really good days in a row.
Yay! Now Monica is doing something she once thought she would never do again. Plan her future.
Oh my gosh, it was just from the lowest point of my life, telling my boys goodbye, and my husband and my mom, to the highest of high.
She is living again.
An incredible story. We are so glad to share it with you. This was the first time the HALT procedure has been performed here in Georgia, but given Monica's success, doctors hope that it opens a door for many more patients who once had no options left. We'll be right back. Tonight, a major development along the Beltline is moving forward. Oakland Exchange is set to transform some historic industrial buildings into new housing and retail space. The site sits along Murphy Avenue in between the Oakland City and West End MARTA stations. It will start with the revitalization of these warehouses, which date back to the 1900s. Developers say they'll be converted into apartments, but historic parts of the building will be preserved.